Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Uttara chapter number 4. The birth of Sukesha. The recitation begins now. Hearing the words uttered by Agastya, Rama wondered as to how formerly Rakshasas were generated in Lanka. And then, shaking his head, he struck with wonder, momentarily eyeing Agastya, addressed Agastya resembling fire, saying, O worshipful one, hearing thy words that formerly Lanka had been in the possession of the flesh-eaters, I have been seized with great amazement. We had heard that the Rakshasas had sprung in the race of Pulastya, but now thou hast said that they owe their origin to a different source. But were they more powerful than Ravana and Kumbhakarna and Prahasta and Vikata and the sons of Ravana? Who was their progenitor? And what was the name of that one of terrific strength? And through what transgression were they driven out by Vishnu? All this, O sinless one, do thou tell me in detail, and do thou dispel my curiosity, even as the sun dispels darkness. Hearing Raghava's words, fair and fraught with polished phrase and period, Agastya, struck with surprise, said unto Raghava, The Lord of creatures, sprung from water, first created water, and the lotus-born one generated creatures for protecting that element. And thereupon those creatures humbly presented themselves before the Creator, saying, What shall we do? We are so tired by hunger and thirst. The Lord of creatures, laughing, addressed them, saying, Ye men, do ye carefully guard this water. Thereat some said Rakshama and others Yakshama. Thus accosted by those afflicted with hunger and thirst, the Creator said, Those among you who have said Rakshama shall be known as Rakshasas, and those among you who have said Yakshama shall now be known as Yakshas. And there sprang the brothers, repressors of foes, Heti and Praheti, the lords of Rakshasas, resembling Madhu and Kaitaba themselves. Praheti, who was righteous, went to the wood of asceticism, and Heti exerted himself to the utmost to get himself wived. And that magnanimous one of immeasurable soul married the exceedingly terrific sister of Kala named Bhaya. And on her Heti, foremost of Rakshasas and best of those having sons, begat a son known as Vidyutkesha. And Heti's son, the exceedingly energetic Vidyutkesha, possessed of the splendor of the sun, grew up even like a lotus in water. And when that night ranger arrived at proper youth, his father turned his attention towards his marriage. And that best of Rakshasas, Heti, in the interest of his son, asked for the hand of Sandhya's daughter, like unto Sandhya herself in potency. Sandhya bestowed her daughter to Vidyutkesha, O Raghava. Having obtained Sandhya's daughter, the night ranger Vidyutkesha sports with her even as Maghavan doth with the daughter of Puloma. And it came to pass that after a length of time, O Rama, Salakatankata was filled with child by Vidyutkesha, as the clouds are furnished with water by the ocean. And then repairing to Mandara, the Rakshasi brought forth her child, having the splendor of rain-charged clouds, even as Ganga had delivered herself of the child begotten by fire. After delivering her offspring, she came back to disporting with Vidyutkesha. And then forsaking her son, she began to sport with her husband. And the child, having sounds resembling the rumbling of the clouds, was renounced by his mother. The child was forsaken by both his parents, and he was furnished with the brightness of the autumnal sun. He entered his clenched fist into his mouth and began to cry slowly. And it so fell that journeying with Parvati, Shiva, riding his bull through the aerial regions, heard the sounds of weeping. And along with Uma, he saw the Rakshasa son as he was crying. and sent by Parvati, whose heart was moved by compassion, Bhaava, the destroyer of Tripura, made that Rakshas's offspring attain the age of his mother and conferred on him immortality. And for compassing Parvati's pleasure, Mahadeva, indestructible and undeteriorating, granted the Rakshasa the power of ranging the air. And, O son of king, Uma also bestowed a boon. Henceforth, the Rakshasas shall conceive in a day, bring forth a child in a day, and the child shall in a day be furnished with the same age of its mother. And then the great and magnanimous Sukesha, puffed up with the receipt of the boons, having obtained auspiciousness at the hands of the Lord Hara or Mahadeva, began to range everywhere, even as Purandara did on having obtained heaven. Mangalam Koshilendraya Mahaniya Gunapte Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.